Sorry about that. My last video got cut off because my phone was, the storage was full. So, here we go. We're going to continue now on the toothless. So, you should already have 2 wings, your 4 legs, your tail, your 2 ears, and your little top knot. So now we're working on his eyes. So here we go. You're going to need a black band. Oops, and you drop it. And, okay, so you go around 3 times. So you get 4 loops. Then you grab your green band. And you want 2 loops on each side. So 1, 2, and then 1, 2. So you've got 2 green, 4 black, 2 green. And you do that again. Three times around. Grab your green band. So you've got 2 green, 4 black, 2 green. So you have 2 eyes on your hook. Now you take 1 band and you pull both of those guys on there. Maybe. No, it's gonna get caught. Come on. There. So 1 and 2. So pull those down so you don't lose anything. And if you can separate them a little bit on here before you put it down, it's going to be easier later. Okay, so there's your eyes on their 1 band. Now we can start working on his body. So his whole body's double banded. Let's see. Gotta move all this stuff because this is where my loom needs to be so you can see it. Okay. So 2 that way. 2 left. 2 to the right. And then each side goes 2 down. And then 1, 2. Middle goes another 2 down. Okay, and then this is the middle, so you need to bring it this way and this way. Okay, and then his neck goes here. So that's his head. His neck. And then we start on his little shoulders. No, first I'm going to go down 1 and then do his shoulders. So there's that. And then his body goes down 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. Oops, dropped 1. Get on there. 1. Oh, poop. 2, 3. I just realized we're supposed to put a back spike there. That's cool, we can still do it. So we gotta make 1, 2, 3, 4 back spikes. You do 1, 2, 3 times around, so you get 4 loops. Then you take a single band, whoop, shoot it across the room, double band it, and then pull that onto it. And then there's a back spike. So, since we want one on this one too, but we don't really have to take that all the way off. You can pick it up with your hook and slide it on. And just put it back where it was. There. Because I forgot. Okay, now we do 3 more of those. I'm just going to do them all on my hook at the same time. Now I use a crochet hook for the building of the pieces. Like these. Well, no. For like the ears and the eyes, I always use my crochet hook. But when I loom, I use the Rainbow Loom metal hook. But that's just me. Because I have this tiny little crochet hook and it makes it really easy to do the eyes and stuff. So, where if you go with a Rainbow Loom, you gotta lift it up to get it over that hook, and it's difficult. So there's 2 back spikes. And 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's right. Okay, now we take 2 bands, pull 1 back spike onto it, and then we put it on there. Take another 2, pull, if I can grab my hook, whoops, whoops, okay, pull the next back spike on there, and 2 more, and grab the last one. And put it on. There we go. Now his little back spikes are on. And we could go 2 down to the middle and 2 down to the middle. This is going much faster than the last time I did this video. I already did this video and screwed it up. So this is my second go of making the full toothless. Now let's see. I'm going to put 1 more down here just to make his tail a little bit longer, because this is where his tail's going. So 1 more down. And then now we can put our cross bands on. I'm just going to use 1 for each one, and you make little triangles. Okay. Now we've got to put his face together. So you want to grab those eye bands that we had. You want to hold one side and get your hook through the other. Okay. Now the ends of the band go on these 2. Whoop, and I missed the peg. But at least it didn't mess up my eyes. If you hold your finger on the hook, go on, don't shoot off again. Okay, so there's the eye bands on there. See, I pushed them together again. So now you have to separate them. You can kind of grab with your hook. Okay, so you find those 2 middle black bands. And then you pull it behind this peg. So there's 1 eye on each side. Now, oh crap. I didn't remake my mouth. So I'm going to remake my mouth real quick. 2 and 2, I think. Yeah. And when I remade my pieces, I didn't remake my mouth. 2 and 3. Okay, now the mouth goes on these 2 pegs. Okay, and his little ears go on these 2. You can just use those with your fingers, I think. Just open up the little bands and stick them on. Oh crap, his top knot was supposed to be here. We can fix it. Okay, there's his little ears. Now his top knot is simply just a knot around 2 pegs, so we're gonna go 3 times around so you get 4 loops. And you're just gonna grab this band here with your hook and slide that on, like we did with the back spikes, and put it back. Whoop, don't drop it. Go on, get on there. There we go. There's, now there's this little top knots on there. Okay, now we're gonna put the tail on, because that's gonna be his capping band, is his tail. So he's actually gonna end up all the way up here. So first I'm going to put my little legs on. Oh, no I'm not. I'm going to put his tail on. Okay, so here's my little tail. Now this is actually his belly. And you want the red to be on the left side of him. So if you think about it, this is how he's actually going to be. So we need his red to be on his left side. So it would go like that. So when we put it on here, we want it on the right side. So I'm just going to stretch it out, put it on there. And you can go ahead and take off these tie-off bands, but I generally wait till the end just in case I mess up. So I just pull the tie-off band off to the side. And now we can loom, but we're going to stop at these 2 pegs. Okay, which one's on top? This guy. Do this side. And I'm going to go ahead and do the middle one right there. Okay. So, you can put the legs on first before you loom, but then they'll stick out to the sides, so he'll look kind of like roadkill, like his little legs will stick out to the sides. But if you loom up to where you're putting them and then put them on, then these are the back pegs, right? 1, 2, 3, yes. If you put them on after you've loomed that peg, then when you pull them off, they'll go like that. So we're gonna put them on now. The back legs have 3 bands, and the front legs only have 2. So I just wanted to make the back legs a little beefier. So same thing, you're gonna put those on here. His toes are bent, so I'm gonna put them so they're bent up. That way when he comes off his loom, they'll sit like this. Put the leg on. We're going to pull those off afterwards. And then you find your other leg and make sure his little toes are pointing up towards the sky. Put him on this one. Sorry, my mom's mowing the lawn. Hopefully you guys, it's not too loud. Okay, now we grab the bottom 2 bands. We're going to loom up to these shoulder ones. and that's where his front legs are going to go. So if you look down to down the side of your loom, you can see where the bottom 2 bands are, and grab them. I would definitely recommend a metal hook, because plastic hooks might break. These aren't as tough as some of the stuff I've done, but when you get through all these bands, it does put a lot of pressure on the bands and on your hook. Wrap that, and then it's a really tight on the top and really loose on the bottom, so I'm going to take my hook, put it through, and kind of squiggle it around. There, so it evened itself out. And you can see the teardrop shape. And then we're going to stop at this one. Again, with the wings, if you want to do your wings before you loom, they'll stick out to the side, and you would put them on these 2 pegs and these 2 pegs. And then they'll just stick out sideways. But I do mine so I actually put them through his body so they stick up. Let me grab my little guy. So, like I was saying, when I put my wings on, I actually put them through his body so they stick up like that. But if you want them to just stick out sideways like he's flying, you would put the wings on before you loom them up. But I'm going to put mine on afterwards. Okay. So, we've loomed up the sides. We're going to put our front legs on these 2 pegs. And same thing, you want the toes pointing up, because when we pull him off the loom, they're going to stand like this. So, I'm going to just use my fingers, put them on there. Where's his other little leg? Whew, thought I lost it. Okay, pull those so they're off to the side a little bit. Now we can loom these guys, and you want to get the bottom 2. Make sure you get those bottom 2. If you turn your loom to the side, you can see which ones are the bottom. Okay, and then get these guys. We're going to pull these tie-off bands off afterwards, so you don't have to worry about them right now. I'll kind of pull mine back down. Okay, now we have to make sure we get this middle row or his back will fall apart. Okay, so there's his body, and we got to get his neck, which is, again, you got to make sure you get those bottom 2 bands. And it's really tight because of all those bands on there, so I'm going to use the back of my other hook to pull that out. So, because if you just pull right away, you'll probably break those bands. Okay, so now we're up to his head. Do I need to do anything? No. Oh, I need a crossband here. So I'm going to throw that on there real quick. I thought that looked a little funny. Okay, now you got to make sure you get the ones that are on top, which for me is this one. And then the next one. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab this middle one and put it up. Whoop, missed one. Okay. Now, we can go up the sides. Go this way. Make sure you get the bottom 2, but not your cross bands. And I'm going to stop there. Get this next one. Bottom 2. Stop there. Actually, we can go ahead and go up to the top. I don't know why I thought I had to stop. Okay, now we're going to get these last two bands here. But this one, I'm going to separate his mouth. So the crossband part is in front of this peg and the mouth is behind the peg. So it kind of goes around. So you want to open it up and put it like that. Because if you just pull these bands, it's going to trap his mouth underneath, and we need his mouth to stick up. So that way, see, there's the cross bands in front of the peg, and then there's the rest of his mouth behind it. And now you can reach in and grab those bottom two bands. Oops, got my hook caught. And pull them up. And then you do the next one. You got to make sure you don't get those eye bands. And go up. And now we can tie him off. And whoops. I use 2 black bands. That way, if one of them breaks, I've got another one to hold it. So you put your hook all the way through and grab those 2. And then we're just going to tie it off with a slip knot. And I kind of hold that with my finger while I pull this off. Make sure everything's looped. Yep, he's good to go. And I always help these first 3 off with the hook. And you pull it off. And then you're going to have to help this one too, because it's got a lot of bands and you don't want your neck to break. And you can pull him the rest of the way. And there we go. Kind of push his eyes out. Turn him so that crisscross green is on the bottom. And this one is a little funky. There we go. Okay. So there's our wingless toothless. Okay, now we can take off these tie-off bands. And pull this one off. Pull this one off. And pull the one off his tail. There we go. So now his little arms and his little legs, see? So there he is. Oh, he's so funny. Now, we'll fix that afterwards. So now we're going to put on his wings. And generally I use a C-clip for this, but since I had to redo my video, we can move our loom. Move these guys. Oh, we're going to need this hook. And I'm going to use a black band, so a green band so you can see. But you would use a black band for this. Okay. Oh, crap. I've got to let the dogs in. Well, they'll just have to stay out there for a minute. Okay. So, this might actually work better with just a tie-off band. So you have these bands here, your cross bands. We're going to put our wings through that hole. So we're going to push our tie-off band down there. And then you've got to grab those, here, I'll show you before I push it through. There's those 2 loops are going through the bottom one. I'm going to put my finger there. And then the C-clip is going to go through the top one. So that way you can see how it's going to stick up? I like that. Crap, it's going to be much harder without a C-clip, but okay, now this would be a black band, but I'm going to use green so you can see what I'm doing. I loop it onto his front leg. Doesn't matter which one you start with. And I'm going to grab these bands with my hook. So there's those bottom bands, and then you got to get all those top bands on your hook. Right? Yeah. And you got to make sure you get them all. So if you put your hook through and pull it and you see that there's still ones off to the side, you got to go back through them. Oh, poop. I lost it. Okay. I think I got them all that time. Yeah. See, now you can see your whole tie-off band or C-clip, so you know you got them all. My loop fell off his leg. So put your loop back on his leg, your black band. And you're going to grab that with your hook and pull it through all those. Whoop, I lost it. Pull it through all those bands. Now temporarily I'm going to put it on this back leg, because now we have to put the other wing through his body. Same thing, you want obviously the top to be at the top. Whoop, I dropped it. I am not doing good with this. Okay, it's the same thing. You want to get it through these two holes here. I'm going to put my top one through first because it's the harder one. And then you want to grab those two loops and push it through that bottom hole. I missed one. Where'd it go? Oh, it's there. I just can't see it. It's hard because they're all black. Okay, so now instead of going up through the bottom this time, we're going to go through the top, because we're going to make this band into a U. So this time we're going to grab, whoop, I'm going to put those on my fingers so I don't lose them. This time we're going to go through the top bands first and make sure you get them all. You don't want his wing to fall apart. Okay, and then through those two loops. And we're going to take our band that we used on the other ones, the black band, and we're going to hook it and pull it through those guys. And I got an extra band there. Okay, so now we take that and put that around his other front leg. So see how there's a U shape there that goes around his one front leg, down through the top bands, through those bottom bands of this wing, and then it goes through the bottom bands and then the top bands of this wing, and then around this other leg. So you can see how it goes through those bands, and that holds his little wings on. And now he's almost done. Now we can take off these tie-off bands or C-clips. The tie-off bands were actually easier, I'm sad to say. Okay. Okay. I am going to let my dogs back in the house real quick, and I will be right back. Sorry about that. They were barking because they wanted to come back in. Okay, so we're almost done. Now we're just going to make his eyes googly. We're just going to make them so they stick up. So what you do for that is you take, I thought I had, whatever. You take two of your eye color bands, which Toothless's eyes are green, so his eye bands are green. And what you want to do is you want to take your eye band and you want to wrap it around twice so you have 3 loops. Now, you have to pick up all his eye bands, so 2 green, and then you want to find the 4 black ones, and then the other 2 green. Whoop, I got something extra there. Okay, so you have that on your hook. Poor little toothless. That looks so painful. Okay, so you slide that towards the end of your hook, and then you're going to take these 3 bands, and you're going to pull it so it's just off your hook. And you're going to give it a, you're going to hold those 3 and pull up just a little bit until it pops out. And now you can take your hook out, and his eye sticks up. And it looks all googly. Same thing on the other eye. So you do 1, 2 times around, so you get 3 loops. Now you go from the other side, and you want to make sure you get all those eye bands again. So 2 green, and then your 4 black, and then the other 2 green. So there he is. He's got all those eye bands on there. Same thing, you grab your 3 bands, or your 3 loops, put it over, and then you just hold them and pull up a little bit. And then slide your hook out. There we go. See? He's all done. And then I open up these, the tie-off bands, and I just put them behind his eyes so you can't see it. And there's his little mouth, his little ears. Now his head's kind of droopy here. It's just because it's tighter on this side than on this side. So we're going to hold those. You can pick up all 4. Here, you can use your hook. Stick it through there, and you push down with your finger and pull up. And then when you pull your hook out, it kind of holds his head up a little bit. And then your guy, if you use a black band for his wing loops, you won't see these. He'll just have the black bands that you won't see. Kind of wiggle his little legs around. There we go. There's our little toothless. You can kind of sit like a little dog. His little wings stand up. There we go. So now he has a little albino brother. See, his legs I put on before I loomed, and they kind of stick out to the sides. But if you do it after you loom, they stick up. So there we go. We got the little brothers here. I hope you guys like this, because this took me so many tries to get this video right because it kept screwing up on me. So I hope this was worth it. I hope people actually make him. And if you do make the little toothless, post a pic on my Facebook page. I'll put a link in the description, because I would love to see if people actually do it. And you can do them in different colors. He doesn't have to be black. He doesn't have to be white. I was going to make one for, I was going to make one of each of the 3 dragons from Game of Thrones. So I was going to make a white one, a red one, and a black one. That's why, or I mean a white, red, and green one for Game of Thrones. But I only made the white one, because I ended up changing his style up a little bit. But, so, if you make him, post a picture. There goes the phone's ringing. Thank you for watching. If you like it, and if you don't, don't. Thank you. Bye.